Good evening, good evening.
Hi.
Thursday night live on a Wednesday. Come on up. Hup, yep,
Yep, whatever.
Yeah, it's a girl. Good girl. Now let's see. We worked on this a little bit. Here you go. Note Sailor. Look. You got to give a high five. Right here. Look. We worked on this. Remember, we worked on this. She is so disobedient on camera. Stay right there. Stay. Here we go. Ready? High five. Sailor. High five.
She's like, no, I'm going to eat.
This is not worth it. Ida, you want to high five? High five.
I knew that she was going to want to
High
come
five.
to me.
Come on.
Mm-hmm.
High five.
No,
that's not a high five. High five.
High five.
We are so sorry as we interrupt our regular programming for Sayla to do her high five, and she refuses to do it.
So we're going to keep working on it until she gets it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tonight was a
She did it this week. She did it this week, but I haven't actually practiced it at the table with her. So we'll do that. It's Thursday Night Live, except it's Wednesday night.
Right.
And it's Ida and Cal, except we have Rob, too.
It's Ida and Cal and our dear friend, Rob Olszewski.
Did I mix it up? Did I say I was Ida?
Yeah, but that's all right. You're having a rough night.
Yeah.
So there's Sayla back for more. Here, over here. When we have a guest, she always enters from that side, Rob.
I know.
I don't know. She's very confused, doesn't know what to do.
What do I do now? Okay. Well, anyway, welcome.
So tonight's show, we're going to interview Rob. We're going to play MadLibs. And you know how MadLibs work? You just you name like nouns and verbs, and you have no idea what the story is going to end up being. But in the end, it'll turn into a story, and you will love it. You will laugh. You will cry. You will be moved.
That's our fervent.
So not only are we going to hear Rob's story, but we're going to hear our MadLib story. Yeah. So, for example, we're going to say something like, we need you to give us an idea, and we're going to just pick the best idea from whatever comes in, of something people often do when they are together. So put the letter A, and then something that people do when they are often together. What people often do when they are together. That's the first MadLib. And if you want to do the second one, B is just an adjective. So put an adjective in that modifies a noun, right? So some adjective that you can think of, that would be B. So A, something people often do when they are together, and B, an adjective. Gosh, I can't read all the way over there. Right? It's going to be hard for me to figure these out, but hopefully we'll get this all put together.
Look, we have all of our friends out there. They're going to help us. Just take a breath, and it's going to be good.
Okay. We have 26 of these. While we interview Rob, we're going to be gathering these answers. So we need your answers. You pick in an answer of something people often do when they're together, and we'll continue that
collate
process.
It, and we'll add it to our story, and the story's going to just flow.
So I'm Cal. This is Ida. I got that right.
Yeah, now you got it right.
I just said this is Ida and Cal. I was looking at you when I first said it. So we're on the show normally, and you are often on the show. I see you all out there, and you didn't know that we can see through that. You know that little hole at the top of your cell phone?
Don't really can't.
You should put a little. Put a little dot.
He's mocking me because I put tape over mine because I don't want anybody to see me.
Everybody knows.
Yeah.
You can see that sort of thing.
Okay.
And nobody's giving us an answer.
No.
So we need an answer to something people often do when they are together. If we don't get these answers, we're not going to be able to.
I'll just give you answers.
We got 26. Yeah, but it's going to be a boring show. So let's.
Thank you.
So I want to introduce you though to our special guest this week, Rob. We actually had Rob on the show a long time ago. Well, he's been on a number of times.
Yeah.
But we had an interview like this where we just talked to you about your life and who you were, and that sort of thing, a ways back.
Thank you, Kristen.
And keep those answers coming. B is an adjective, so we're still looking for something that modifies a noun too. So Rob is.
You got to be interviewed. You can't be answering questions.
From the north part of. Rob, are you going to text or are you going to be on the show?
Both.
He gives me a hard time about playing my game. Why not come on the show and play the game? So Rob is from the north part of Pittsburgh, not too far from us. He came down this evening to be a part, to participate with us. And and so we wanted to just catch up with Rob. Rob has from the very beginning been a part of Uniquely the Same, and he does all sorts of interesting stuff. So we want to just talk to you about your life and catch up.
I just wonder who wrote this from Uniquely the Same that wrote Rob is awesome. No wonder he was texting.
Okay, but that isn't actually an adjective. I need something. Awesome would be the adjective in there, which we could. We could
Okay,
go with
let's use awesome.
And should we use some? There were two answers on the first one: talk and play games.
Mm-hmm.
Which one do you want to go with?
Well, talk came in first, so why don't we do talk?
Okay, and so while we're at it, I'll just give you now C. We need a famous writer. We need somebody to come up with a famous writer, or no, it doesn't have. They don't have to be a famous writer. They just have to be a writer. It could be. You could be you. This is where Rob could put Rob. And,
no, I'm not writer yet.
But anyway you want to, any writer you want to come up with that's going to fit into our story. That would be C. The answer to that one would be C. And while you're thinking of it, D is going to be the name of a new team of superheroes. So you have like the Avengers and I don't know what else there are. The
God Squad.
What are those cartoon characters called?
Paw Patrol.
Yeah, you come up with a new team of superheroes. A name for a new team of superheroes, not one that exists, but a new one.
John Mitchner.
Yeah. So let's get off the show and get to Rob. So Rob, tell us about your life, who you are, where you come from, and give us a little bit of an overview of the world of Rob.
The world of Rob. Or should we go Robbie Buttons?
I don't call you Robbie Buttons. If you want to call you Robbie Buttons, you're welcome to.
I'll get to that. But okay. In 1970s, I'm not giving my age, but in the 1970s, I was born, and at 13 months, I was diagnosed with cerebral palsy. The doctors told my parents I would never walk or talk in my life. You see, I'm talking, and if these two weren't beside me, I'd stand up and walk. But I proved the doctors wrong at an early age. At age 6, I was ring bearer for my sister's wedding, and I walked without crutches. Found me out. So fast forward, like to school. I went to the normal elementary, graduated from high school, and I went to college. And I got my degree in computer-aided drafting and computer programming. So I was employed as a computer programmer in the Pittsburgh area, not naming any companies, but I'm employable. And now I work at my alma mater of Butler County Community College as a student technical specialist, and I also work with people affected by disabilities. And then I found these two. Well, first one was Cal, then Ida came in and helped us start Uniquely the Same.
Yeah, he hangs out with my bad company.
Yeah.
So I think did we get D, the name of us? This is going to be complicated because we're going to go in and out of the interview with Rob into this game. But name a new team of superheroes. No first name Sparks, but that's an author. Sparks.
Oh, Nicholas Sparks was the author.
So give us the name of a new team of superheroes. That's D, and we also need a large number E. So be thinking of that.
A large number. Any large number. Pick a number.
So one of the things I forgot to say to Rob is, or that I was going to say, was that Rob's last name, Olszewski, is like an old chef on skis. That's how you pronounce his name, Olszewski. But that's not how you spell it.
No.
That's my problem. Is every time I go to spell it, I want to spell it OLDCH, and I go, oh wait, that's not right.
That's not going to.
It's got a Z in there.
OLSZEWSKI. I know it's a mouthful.
And so if we got to get the name right to make sure that Rob is famous.
We've got a large number, 2216.
Great, thanks for that large number.
But I got a larger number.
22. Well, we already popped the number in. We're still looking for the name of a new team of superheroes. Somebody needs to come up with a cool sounding superhero name. So, Rob, tell us about your just growing up with a disability. Were you underestimated? Were you? The fact that you've always been an achiever is interesting to me. So just tell me about that part of your life.
Okay. Was I underestimated? Yes. I had a couple of teachers in junior and senior high that, he's disabled. Let's pass him on. And not giving me the chance to prove myself. And I had a couple students in school that I had a tripping incident.
A tripping incident.
Now I don't use crutches, but back in junior high, in elementary, I did use crutches. And I was walking down the second wing, and somebody thought it would be fun to stick their foot out in front of me.
Oh, my.
I didn't see it, but the floor found my chin. 9 stitches go across my chin. And unfortunately for the student, fortunately, but unfortunately for the student, the high school administration did a 2-week investigation, and the football team did a 1-day investigation. I'll just leave it like that.
Well, now you can't just leave it like that.
Mm-hmm.
What did the football team decide to do?
Let's put it this way. They made it known not to mess with Robert. It was an old chef on skis.
Did they?
So they came to your aid.
They came to my aid.
Yeah.
Like having a whole team of big brothers.
Yeah.
22 starting big brothers.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I never had a football team stand up for me. Do you think there's any advantages in life to having a disability?
Some people do. Some people think that because they say, "Oh, I'm disabled, so let me win the game," or "I'm disabled, let me be first in line." But I don't think that.
You get a good parking space.
Well, yeah. The state of Pennsylvania and the federal government says I could get a good parking space.
Yeah.
And I think a bus driver told us that I need a good seat in the bus as we went to Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah, tell that story. I think that's a good story.
Okay. So, as Cal said, I get a good parking space. But Cal and I went out in 2000, help me out here, Cal, 2018, I believe. We went out to Philadelphia to pick up the new green machine.
Yeah.
Which is a handicapped accessible van.
Yeah, but we call it the green machine.
Mm-hmm.
It's not green. They say it's green. But, so Cal and Ida dropped us off at midnight one night, and we went to Philadelphia by Greyhound bus. The driver was late, so we didn't get started till 2 a.m. And as we were in line turning in our tickets, and as the line got closer, Cal was behind me, so I went first, handed my ticket over, and I walked ahead, and I kind of stopped and went to the side. And the driver walked up to me and said, excuse me, I was closer to the bus, but you have a special seat. And I'm like, I'm waiting for my friend so we can sit together. Well, you have a special seat. It got the handicapped wheelchair on it. You should use it. Cal and I looked at each other like, huh?
It's like the opposite of the back of the bus. You just sit in the front of it was the front row seat.
It was
right behind where all the on the school bus. It's where all the
maybe he just
and
knew
goofs
he
sit.
was a goof and unruly. No, just kidding.
Or maybe he knew Cal was.
That's it. That's it. No. So he assumed that you couldn't sit in a regular seat with your friends, and that happens a lot. I think. As stories, we hear a lot of those kind of assumptions that are being made.
Okay, I want to go back to our game. F, we need a famous actor. So Kathy isn't sure what we're doing, so let's explain it again for the people who are just coming in. We're doing a MadLib, which is basically you fill in some words and can turn in, not only are we going to hear Rob's story, but we're making up a story, our own story, while we go. And so we're looking for F, a famous actor. F, a famous actor. And we're also looking for G, a snack that you might enjoy.
We got Robert Redford.
A snack that you might enjoy. All right, we've got our famous actor, Robert Redford.
Can I say one?
He's dreamy.
Oh, he is dreamy.
Since it comes up.
You don't have to type it, Rob. You're on the show. You
I'm
can
on the
say
show. John Ritter.
Oh, John Ritter.
Oh, well, we already had Robert Redford. How about a snack?
So tell us why you chose John Ritter.
There's a reason behind John Ritter, Ida.
Okay, well, just go for it, Robert.
We're gonna use Robert Redford in the game, but tell us why you wanted John Ritter. You got to be faster.
You might add both of them.
If you would have just said it, we could have got it in there. Just saying, Robert.
He was playing along. He was being at home.
I was playing the rules. See, I play by the rules.
Yeah, he was giving everybody a fair chance.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
But in 1985, and I won't give you my age at 1985, but I was
42.
No.
Oh.
Yeah. 42 at 85. Yeah. But in 1985, I was on a telethon, and the telethon did a video documentary on me on my farm. Yes, I lived on a 42-acre farm in Pennsylvania, in western Pennsylvania.
Grew up on a farm.
I grew up on a farm, and no, we didn't throw cow patties. But
I'm behaving myself.
I was interviewed for this documentary for United Cerebral Palsy Telethon, and I was interviewed, did the documentary, interviewed locally in the Pittsburgh area, but on our traveling to the studio. When we got to the studio, everybody was all excited because that video documentary went national TV and John Ritter introduced it.
Nice.
Three's Company. That John Ritter?
Yes, that's him.
He's like a comedy. He's like a trip and fall actor.
Yeah.
What do you call that?
Slapstick.
Pratfall.
Yeah. What was the show that he was on right before?
Knock on my door.
Well, yeah,
There was a show before that.
There was a show after that, right before he passed away.
But he was pretty famous.
Yes.
He was pretty famous.
We've got
Kathy must be behind Joel because Joel keeps giving the answer before. So
they're just a minute apart. So yeah.
So I'm gonna take Joel's answer since he's already given a couple and switch to Kathy. But I did for the name of the new team of superheroes. I combined a bunch and I went with the multiple dogs and cats.
Perfect.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we had Robert Redford, but we're going to change it to the dreamy Richard Gere.
We're changing it to Richard Gere. Okay.
Is that okay?
Sure. Now we need a snack, right?
Yeah, we're looking for a snack.
Well,
We're looking
mine
for
would be a meal, but it could be a snack.
Okay, go
What's
ahead.
that?
What is it?
Pierogies.
You can give this one. Pierogies. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we don't need a snack anymore. Don't put snack in. We're going with pierogies. Pierogi.
And why do you feel like why did you throw the pierogies in there?
Well,
Other than last Friday was National Pierogi Day.
Yeah.
Old Chef on Ski.
I see.
What is the relationship to Old Chef on Ski?
Anything with ski is Polish.
Everything, any name
Except
with
for
ski is
downhill-
Polish.
Downhill skiing.
Except for downhill skiing.
Although I think isn't there a Polish skier that does ski jumping? Isn't that like that Eagle Eddie the Eagle? Anybody know what I'm talking about?
No.
He was a nut. He's just like this crazy guy that just goes down. He doesn't know. He had no idea what he's doing, and he learned how to
You jumped off ski jumps?
jump off those big, those
Oh
big
my.
super ski jumps. Hey, by the way, H, we're looking for just a made-up woman's name. Just make up a name. Make it funny or cute or sweet or happy or whatever you want, but a made-up woman's name. All right, we're looking for you to come up with a made-up woman's name. Rob, you're not allowed. You already given pierogi.
Right.
That's H. H is a made-up woman's name, and we also need I, a famous actress.
Oh.
I,
So we've got Richard Gere. Now we need a famous
famous actress to, I guess to go with Richard Gere, maybe.
Oh,
I don't know if that's true or not, but in our
Depends.
story, but we'll see.
Linda says princess. For a made up.
Princess.
Mm-hmm.
We need a last name too. So you grew up on a farm.
Yeah,
I always talks about this game called Cow Patty Bingo.
That's what I was.
Is there such a thing as Cow Patty Bingo?
Of course, there's a thing. As
We talk about
Patty
this a
Bingo.
lot.
Yes, we do.
I'm not asking you. I'm asking. He's the farmer. I'm asking the expert.
There
Okay.
is. Yeah, you're not the expert no more.
I'm not the expert on Cow Patty Bingo, so let's ask Rob.
Yes, there is a cow patty bingo game. We never played it on my farm. We were a clean farmer.
You're saying there isn't.
Yes, but we did have beef cattle, so that's how I know. That's how I know it's a game.
Sparkly Eyes. Princess Sparkly Eyes?
Yeah. Princess Sparkle Eyes, and an actress is Jennifer Garner.
Jennifer Gardner. I don't know Jennifer Gardner. I must be out of it, but I'm going to go with that. Princess Sparkly Eyes. What other questions do we need here?
We need a small living creature.
A small living creature. Doesn't need to be a mammal. It can be anything. A small living creature. Could be a mammal. Whatever you
And
want.
a new type of hero ability.
So the small living creature is J.
Uh-huh. Oh,
And
yeah. I missed it. I skipped K, a body part.
K is a body part. And L is a new type of hero ability.
Joel says worm for
A worm. That's
for
a good
this
one.
small living creature.
Let's see what else comes in. Give everybody an opportunity
Okay.
to.
Kathy
Put
says a
their name in.
blue-tailed lizard. She's not messing
A
around.
blue-tailed lizard.
She's got she's got a fancy one. Body part, Kristen says an arm.
Can we make it a blue-tailed worm?
I think so. I don't know what you're doing, but yes, a blue-tailed worm sounds good to me.
I want everybody to be able to have their part.
Yeah.
The body part is just an arm?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And we're looking for L, a new type of hero ability. Some sort of hero ability. If you could have any hero ability, Rob, what would it be?
Thanks.
You're supposed to think about these things. When you're laying in bed at night, you're supposed to think, if I
Yeah.
could have any hero ability, what would I have?
Yeah, I'm up all night thinking about this.
I would have, I think I would have the ability to think of a hero ability.
Now, I would want my arms to be able to stretch so I could turn the light on or off.
Stretch Blevin.
Stretch.
But they have
arm
remotes.
blevins.
They have remotes now.
Turns out.
Turns out they have remotes.
Turns
for
out you
those
can
lights.
just
Or-
say,
Or timers.
or the device.
Kristen says mind reading.
Ooh,
That would be a
mind
good
reading.
one.
That's a good hero ability.
I'd be afraid of what I'd learn. But
Would
yeah,
you want the skill of mind reading?
No.
You really could, Rob.
Now, with the students I work with, yes. And because I do tutoring, that would help too.
So tell us about that. What do you mean the students you work with? Why would it help with What do you do with students?
I work at a community college in the area. The #1 community college for 6 years. You must in Pennsylvania. Yes, Butler County Community College. But
BC3.
BC3
around here.
The Cube.
B Cube.
Yeah, B Cube. But no, it's nicknamed the Cube. But I work at BC3 with students. I do 2 kinds of jobs. I run a computer lab. So a mind reader would be nice. I could read the mind of my students so I could help them out.
Oh, look at that.
And then I tutor over the internet family members, and I wish I could read their minds too. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't.
Tutoring. So you have a new job of watching test takers, right?
Yes, I have a new job of I get to sit here and watch test takers take their tests and make sure they don't cheat.
I wonder what percentage of students cheat.
Well, I started that.
Have you ever caught anybody?
No, I just started this semester, so I didn't catch a culprit yet.
It actually won't be fun when you do catch them.
No, because it's a lot of paperwork.
Serious job.
Yeah. And it's a lot of paperwork.
It'll just be lousy. Somebody will have to confront them.
Not me.
Is there a difference between a psychic and a mind reader? Those are similar, aren't they?
Similar. I think mind reader is good.
And we need a color. And we need something funny found around the house.
Color and something funny found around the house. Okay.
Color or something funny. So I also, Rob, know that you are. By the way, I forgot about this. We have this Rob picture.
Yeah, we have this Rob picture.
Which
Rob picture are you referring to? Oh.
So here's one. Let's see, why isn't my screen? Here we go. So here's Rob riding a horse on the farm.
Yes.
Right? That's really you, right?
That's me.
Do you remember the horse's name? You had a lot of
Yes,
horses.
I do. Chick.
Chick.
I can.
You named your horse after a chicken?
That wasn't my horse. That was my sister's horse.
I
believe that's Chick.
Old Chick. Here's some more Rob pictures.
We had other horses too.
Did you have a favorite horse?
That probably was the one that didn't bug me off, which was Chick.
Oh boy, this is a full presentation.
Yes.
Now we'll come back to that one.
Okay.
There was another one I thought I wanted to show. Nope, not that one.
Not that one. I knew which one.
I wanted to show the Wheels for the World picture.
The wheels.
Let me just bring that up. There we go. All of these have. I forgot this is a full presentation with actually. There we go. Did she do it? Get down.
She did it for me.
We don't have any
off camera a little bit, but
of course I did.
Well, she can't be doing a trick and not get it.
So Rob, so tell us about this picture with you in the wheelchair.
Me in the wheelchairs. I think you were involved with that too. But in 2020, right before the pandemic, I partnered with Johnny and Friends and did a mission conference. And, throughout the presentation at the mission conference, we were talking about Wheels for the World. And people were going up and saying, well, how do I donate? And I partnered with Linda. I had some connections with nursing homes. So I would get them and then ship them off to Linda. And so the area director would go, see Rob. And after one of the presentations of that mission conference, she goes, why don't you become your own Chair Corps volunteer? So I made a few calls and got my I found storage for free. Somebody donated in memory of my brother-in-law. And
that's really something special
yeah.
to have that, because that's one of the hardest things to find,
right.
is someplace to store the chairs until we're ready to ship them off.
Yep.
So that was really wonderful that you found somebody to do that.
He first donated a 5x10 locker in a self-storage facility, and then I upgraded to a 10x10. And in the picture you see up on the screen, or that will be up on the screen, there's about 42 wheelchairs and about 50 or 60 walkers and/or manual mobility devices.
Mm-hmm.
And that was shipped off to Wadsworth by U-Haul.
Is that what fits in a 10x10 trailer? I mean, a 10x10 storage unit?
That's about what fits in a 10x10.
Stack them all up.
Stack them all up. That was stacked too high. 2 wheelchairs high and about 4 wheelchairs deep. 4 rows deep. And there was 42 wheelchairs and about 60 mobility devices.
Okay, I want to go back to our game. We're interviewing Rob Olszewski. This is Rob, about his life and what it's like. And also we're playing a MadLib game where we take words and fill them into a story that we're making up. We don't know what the story is, but we're filling in words. I saw when we asked for a color, someone said blue, someone said purple, so I Googled what is blue and purple together. What do you call that? They call that periwinkle.
There you go, periwinkle.
So we're going to go with periwinkle, which is purple, which is bluish purple, or a blue, lavender blue.
Yeah, somebody wrote a song about that.
Periwinkle. They did?
Yeah.
It's a country western song.
It's not a country western.
And then the funny thing around the house is a horseshoe. We're going with the horseshoe.
Okay. So now we need a made-up superhero name.
Horseshoes were on farms.
There you go.
Okay, this is an important one. The made-up superhero name. This is a very important key to the key to the
story.
Yeah, one of the keys.
Okay.
So a made-up superhero name, and we're also going to need a supervillain name. So a superhero name O and a supervillain name Q. They don't have to start with those letters. That's just how we know what you're talking about when you put it out there.
I'll let you answer.
Made up superhero name.
Rob.
So the Wheels for the World is with Johnny and friends.
Yes.
What's the hardest thing about collecting wheelchairs?
Getting the storage, like Ida said.
Mm-hmm. And so you've overcome that.
Yep.
That's cool.
But you've rallied volunteers to help you with the.
Yeah, and I kind of overcome that. We have to get volunteers to help us pick up the deliveries, and then volunteers to help us deliver it to the next phase.
I know the day that I was there taking pictures of this wheelchair transfer, and you had a lot of people there working with you. A lot of people from your church. Were they all from your church, or?
They were mainly from my church, and the senior pastor and a couple members from my church. I believe we had Nathan and David and these two, and then Linda Clark was there too.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool when you think that providing a wheelchair to somebody is a life-changing event for that individual.
And I think that day we delivered over 200 wheelchairs. I think.
That's a lot of wheelchairs.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then just recently I did a wheelchair drive with my youth group for my church. And we transported 30 wheelchairs to the next phase and 60 walkers.
I think it's awesome that the youth group gets involved too.
Yeah.
Because then they learn the importance of a lot of things, helping out and hard work, and how it does touch lives.
Right.
I think it's wonderful that your youth group does that.
Hey, we're going with Captain Fabulous as the superhero. Why don't we use Twinkle Toes as the villain name?
That sounds good.
Twinkle Toes. Since that was suggested. I know that was meant as as the hero, but we're going to use that as a villain name. We'll use that ironically, Twinkle Toes. as a hero name. How about a made-up city name that sounds a lot like Pittsburgh? Can you think of one, Ida? We'll save everybody the trouble. There can't be that many that. What would be a made-up name that sounds like?
No.
You know how like they use Gotham instead of New York City. So instead of Pittsburgh, what would be a name we could use?
I'm thinking because Pittsburgh is noted for their Polish food.
Yeah.
So why don't we do Wonkyburg?
What?
Gawonkyburg.
Gawonkyburg.
Right, I would have thought of that one. Gawonkyburg.
Because what's a Gawonky?
It is Gawonky is pigs in the blanket. So it is a Polish food. It is onions, dry meat, and other seasonings, and it's wrapped up in a cabbage roll.
Yeah.
So cabbage roll.
So New York is Gotham, and Pittsburgh is going to be
Gawonkyburg. Okay.
We're going with it.
All right.
Okay, now we need one of our viewers. Okay, we need a viewer. So let's just pick one.
Okay.
What viewer should we pick?
You looking at me?
Kristen.
Kristen.
I was thinking the same.
Okay, Kristen is the viewer.
It can't be me because I'm on the show.
Right. Played by Kristen. Whoops, just read part of the story.
Oh yeah, Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do that, Cal.
No. Okay.
Super cool weapon.
Yeah, we're looking for S, a super cool weapon. Think of a super cool weapon.
I'll let you guys answer that, the viewers.
So tell us, one of the things, how did you, tell us about your college. How did you get into college? How did you survive college? How did college go for you? Tell us about that.
Well, my college used to be a golf course. So in fact, it was called Oak Hill Golf Course.
Really?
So it's hilly. So when I went to college, I rode a three-wheeled scooter around campus. And we have a beautiful campus on our main campus. We actually have 6 campuses. That is called DC3 The Cube. So, but our main campus is probably the most beautiful campus of the 6. But it was hilly, so I had this three-wheeled scooter. So I would go to class on this three-wheeled scooter. And I'm going to combine one of your next questions. I remember I had this professor, and he was a jokester. And yes, I will give the name later. But I remember I was teaching drafting. So back in the 90s, it was like transition between board work and computer-aided drafting.
Mm-hmm.
So I would park the scooter. There was like a ramp going up to the library because the library and the drafting department was like connected by this ramp. So I would park the scooter in on that ramp out of the way of the hall. And one day I forgot my key for the scooter, in the scooter. So I'm sitting there in class, and this professor was a jokester. And all of a sudden you hear the scooter coming. And I'm sitting in class, and you see the scooter. My scooter was by the door with my professor driving it. Mm-hmm. And the professor, you two met him, was Mike Aiken.
Yeah, Mike was a cool guy.
Yeah, Mike's a cool guy. So,
there's a lot of professors that are really cool, but Mike stands out among professors.
Mike kind of stands out to me because through my college years, he has encouraged me not only to do drafting, but to get into ministry in one way or another. he knew back when I was in college, he knew I was involved with our youth group and helping leading that. So he asked me one day, he says, how come you're not a pastor? And I went, yeah, Mike, it's a little too much. I'm just going to a little community college, and you need a master's degree in our denomination to become a pastor. And after I graduated, I remember I was running sound at a wedding, and I hear this voice from the back behind me as I'm leaving the sanctuary. So when should we call you Reverend Olszewski? I'm like, yeah, right, Mike. It still takes time to become a pastor. But yeah, he was one of the early birds that started me on disability ministry. And now I'm in charge of our disability ministry at my church.
Very cool. So, does your disability ministry have a name, or you just call it disability ministry?
We just call it disability ministry for now.
Rob, you're a deacon, aren't you?
Yes, I'm an ordained deacon.
So that's getting pretty close to a minister in your church.
Yeah, I'm ordained.
Yeah, that's an ordination. That's cool.
I do a lot in my church. I'm a deacon. I used to help out with the youth group. I used to fill in for youth group when we didn't have a youth director. I run sound, something called the sound system.
Yeah, you're the technician that nothing works if you're not there.
Yeah, if I'm not there,
if somebody doesn't turn on the lights. I used to have a guy that worked for me that did technology, and people would pay us an absurd amount of money to go in and fix problems that they had.
Yeah,
and sometimes he'd go in. People would have this huge problem. He'd go in and he'd spend like 5 minutes, and it would be fixed.
Yeah.
And he would always say, "It's not how much time you spend; it's knowing which switch to flip."
Right.
And
right.
So that's sort of a technical. It's something people who are allergic to technology know how important technology is.
Right. So if people out there know what church I go to, and
you can say what church you go to.
Well, wait. If they know what church I go to,
right,
and they go to our YouTube channel and our podcast and that's our private group Facebook page. But I'm the person behind the scenes that makes sure that the podcast gets up, make sure that the YouTube channel is updated. And I even sent our secretary, the audio version of the sermons, so she can put it up on our website. So
if people were going to find your church, where would they go to look?
My church is Gospel Fellowship Presbyterian Church in America, Valencia, Pennsylvania. Find us on YouTube, and it's Gospel Fellowship PCA, I believe.
PCA?
Yes.
Presbyterian Church in America. Yeah. Joel came up with boomerang. I wanted to as a strange object name. I wanted to pop in a spaghetti strainer.
Oh, there you go.
But we can go with his strange object. I want to get my name in there. So we're going with boomerang.
Okay.
We need a female viewer. We've already picked one. We need another female viewer. So what other female viewer do we have?
Tonight we have Kathy and Linda and Kristen and
okay.
I don't know who else. But
well, let's go with Kathy.
Kathy says Linda.
Oh, Kathy says Linda. All right, we'll go with Linda.
All right.
Linda Clark. We need a verb ending in ing. We already got one. We got skip. I already used skip. Now we need another one, another verb ending in ing, and it cannot be skip.
How about skiing?
Skiing?
Skiing.
Sticking with the Polish theme. This is going to turn into a whole Polish.
That's okay.
We'll go with your name.
You have to.
I have no idea how to spell skiing, but it doesn't matter.
S-K-I-N-G.
Is it I-N-G or I-I-N-G?
No, it's I-N-G.
Skiing.
Yeah, skiing. That's
Okay.
the Pittsburgh E's in you.
All right. Still working on. We're almost there.
We have walking and whistling too. So what we're doing using skiing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go
Okay.
with Rob. So.
You got to
Alright.
stick with the...
All right. We need something you wear. Something you wear is X. We're getting there. We're on X, and we only have Z. Something you wear. You're not like you have already given your answer.
You skip Y?
No, X is what we're on. X will be next.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Y will be next.
Okay.
Something you wear. Something you wear. I forget what I was looking up.
Kristen says pants.
I hope so.
Pants.
Winnie the Pooh doesn't wear pants.
Neither does Donald Duck. I don't know.
That's a terrible, terrible example. Okay, now we're on Y. A famous college or university other than BC3.
Oh,
Famous college or university other than BC3.
come on, David or Nathan.
So Rob, thanks for sharing stuff about yourself. We'll finish up the game. I'm looking forward to spending more time with you, Rob, and hanging out more and more. Rob, we always think of you as maybe one of the people who would live in a house that we would build or be a part of managing like a store or something like that. We always are looking for ways to include Rob. So.
Don't tell my president of my college because he wants to keep me there.
What do you mean?
Don't tell my president of my college that you want me to do all this because he likes me.
He wants you to be working at the college.
Yes, he wants me to be working at the college.
Yes, but he pays you money. I pay you an eternal blessing.
That's
yeah.
right. or UTS bucks.
UTS bucks.
Which
That's right.
are,
We'll give you $1 million UTS bucks.
And what is that worth?
It's not much.
UTS bucks have no value.
That's right.
Right.
We have Harvard. We have Slippery Rock.
We're going Harvard. David, that's
Okay.
David's first.
That's good.
So we're just looking for a large number.
Oh.
A large number. We had a large number before.
Kathy says 758.
758.
Yeah.
You want 758?
Yeah,
I got a larger number.
Yeah, what's your number?
3.14159265359. Does anybody know what that is? I remember I tutor math. I'll give you that hint.
I know what that is.
I
Just
know
because
what
I knew
this
the
is.
3.14, I wouldn't been able to tell you the rest of it. But that is pi.
Yeah, it is
That is
pie.
pi.
It's a good. Pi day is a good day. My sons were born on 3.14 on March 14th. Pi day.
So you can't fool the Clarks with the pi day.
So should we go with pi or should we go with 758?
I think we go with 758.
Okay.
It's bigger than 3.1.
Not longer.
It's not longer, but it's
You didn't
bigger.
say
It's a long number.
you didn't say greater. You just said
true.
large number.
That's true. That is
It
exactly
could be a
what it
giant
says.
7 or a whatever.
By the way, before the show, Ida and I were fighting like crazy, and Rob was working to keep us from fighting.
We weren't fighting. We were having whatever. We were having a
what is that called? Intellectual conversation.
That's right. It was a little bantering. But anyway, we got through it. Thank you, Rob.
Who's ready for our
I'm ready for
second
the
story?
I'm ready for the second story.
Second story.
Everybody contributed is waiting.
There were 26 answers. I'm just going to read the answers real quickly, all right?
Okay.
Something people often do when they're together, they talk. That's what we said. He also said play games. We're going with talk. An adjective, awesome. Famous writer, John Michener. Name of a new team of superheroes, the Multiple Dogs and Cats.
There you go.
Like when it rains dogs and cats. Large number, 2,216. A famous actor, Richard Gere. For the old folks. A snack that one would enjoy eating, pierogi or pierogies. A made-up woman's name, Princess Sparkly Eyes.
I like Princess Sparkly Eyes.
That's a good one.
That was a good
Famous actress, Jennifer Gardner. Small living creature, blue-tailed worm. A body part, arm. A new type of hero ability. We went with reading minds. Color, periwinkle. Something funny found around the house, horseshoe. A made-up superhero name, Captain Fabulous. Captain Fabulous.
Somehow I knew you were going to do it.
Made-up city name that sounds a lot like Pittsburgh. Gowonkiburg.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say it right?
Gowonkiburg.
Gowonkiburg. Supervillain name, Twinkle Toes. Viewer, Kristen. Super cool weapon. A super belch blaster. Belch.
Well, before you go on,
yeah,
I was thinking of something, but that's because I'm a hunter safety instructor in the state of Pennsylvania.
Oh.
So that adds another, I don't know if it's a feather or what in my hat.
Yeah, we did a show on hunting.
Yeah,
and we do hunting trivia.
See,
when's hunting season start? Do you know?
Yes, I do. I should know because I teach hunter safety. November 28th.
Which hunting season?
Deer. Big game deer, which is well known. We used to have the day off. First day of deer is like a Pennsylvania holiday. But now that it starts on a Saturday, we don't need a day off for it.
I have a hunting story for you.
Oh, you do?
When I was a kid, my dad...
Should I call it game warden?
Maybe. my dad was superintendent of schools. Okay. And it snowed one Sunday evening, Monday morning, and it snowed enough. Usually he liked to have school. He was on the radio. They used to joke that he had electric heaters in his tires because all the other schools would call off, but not his school system. But this was enough snow that he called it off, and it just so happened that it was the first day of hunting season, so he called off school early and went up to hunting season and all my uncles live up in Chicora, Pennsylvania. There's some really nice hunting areas up there, and so he would always go up there and meet my uncle and at this particular place. So they always knew like where they were going to be. They would just go up and hunt, and they'd run into each other in the woods because they knew where they were going to be. And so he went up to hunt, and anyway, he walked and never ran into my uncle. And so then he ended up walking like the whole way back to my uncle's house, and my uncle was inside the house, and my dad was like, "What is going on? Like, where were you? I was out, all morning hunting, and you weren't anywhere around." And my uncle said, "Well, hunting season starts next week."
Oops.
So anyway, they always thought that was a funny thing because if my dad would have shot a deer,
good thing he didn't
on that day. Anyway, that's my family hunting story.
That's a good one.
So I kind of, so you guys know I'm a farmer or an ex-farmer,
right?
And all this stuff with Johnny and Friends and Uniquely the Same, and we could go down the list, but So when you're probably wondering, how did he go hunting with a disability?
Right. Because it's hard for you to get through.
And it's hard to get
wooded areas.
Wooded areas, brush, and the terrain of the woods. My dad was an iron worker, construction worker, so plus a farmer. So we had an old Scotty trailer up behind the barn, one of our barns.
I remember those. They're like silver trailers, right?
No, that's the Airstream. These are little Scotty. They're like mine was 14 foot bit long, and it was like concave, rounded off corners.
I remember a place used to sell Scotties.
Yeah.
I guess I just.
But the silver bullet's Airstream.
Yeah. Okay.
Hence the silver bullet.
Were these more like plastic? Like
no, they were metal. Mine was white and blue. Okay.
Scotty trailer. Sorry.
So he took this 14-foot trailer and put it up on 10-foot poles in the middle of this field. It took us 12 hours. It was, I hunted with my uncles and all his friends, and so they left one Saturday, and my cousin said, he says, "Are you serious about putting that trailer up in the air?" My dad says, "Yeah, sure." He says, "I'll be there at 8 o'clock I'll be there at, daybreak." And so we went through and we hoisted this trailer up on 10-foot poles, and it had a catwalk deck around it and stairs with a railing, and so I could climb up the stairs and sit out on the deck and shoot my deer. And
that's pretty cool.
My uncle and his buddies said, "Oh yeah, you're fibbing us." Well, next week they pulled in before daylight, as many hunters do. And they shine the lights down across the field, and they see this Scotty trailer up in the air.
How would you get a Scotty? How would you get it up?
Well, my dad was an iron worker. We had these 2 pine trees, and we had this old log cabin that fell down. And my uncle sat there for years on this log cabin. We called him the orange statue because you have to wear 250 square feet of orange when you hunt. Mm-hmm. So we called him the orange statue on this log cabin. So when we jacked up the trailer, now we had cover and we could still hunt. And yes, it did not have a motor in the trailer, so we were okay with the hunting laws.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did it with we had it between 2 black walnut trees. So one side we used chain falls, and the other side we used a tractor with a loader, front end loader, and we just raised up.
Yankee ingenuity.
Yep. Crazy. That's the Polish engineering in us.
Yeah. All right, back to our story. The Super Belch Blaster, which originally I thought was Super Belt Blaster. Yeah. And I was wondering if Super Belts would be like Calvin Klein belts or exactly. Anyway, but Belch Blaster, an igniter, you'd have to think they'd light those belches.
Oh my!
Once they get out there, and not only do they just blast you with sound, but then they blow up in your face.
Oh, that's really cool.
That's how I envision it anyway. A verb, skip or skipping. A strange object, a boomerang. A verb ending in ing, skiing. Female viewer, Linda Clark. Something you wear. Pants.
Pants.
And a famous college or university, Harvard, a large number, 758. Ready for the story?
I'm ready for the story. We have worked for an hour on this story.
Everyone get a cup of coffee, a pipe if you've got one.
You stole my coffee.
Yes.
Just keep your shoes off.
Yeah, put your feet up and relax.
Wait for this really sweet story.
To uniquely the same story time. Here we go. Tonight's riveting story is brought to you by Uniquely the Same. At Uniquely the Same, we like to say, I'm uniquely the same, you're uniquely the same, together we can talk. Tonight's story is based on the awesome graphic novel by John Michener titled The Beginning of the Multiple Dogs and Cats, which is the first installment of an epic 2,216-part film series. Our hero, played by Richard Gere, is an average tutor of high school students and BC3 computer lab manager. He has extraordinary powers and an origin that is not at all like Superman's. One day, while taking a break in his computer lab to eat a pierogi with his crush, Princess Sparkle Eyes, played by Jennifer Gardner, our hero is accidentally bitten by a radioactive blue-tailed worm. While he stares longingly at Princess Sparkle Eyes' lovely arm, realizing that with his newfound reading mind ability comes great responsibility. He makes a homemade costume out of periwinkle paint and horseshoes and calls himself Captain Fabulous in order to protect Gwonkyburg from the diabolical Twinkletoes, played by Kristen. In a shocking twist, Twinkletoes gained their powers from the same radiation that created Captain Fabulous. Only she was horribly scarred and was forced to wear a suit of armor that shoots super belch blasters or something. In the thrilling final act, Twinkletoes steals a top secret government device which will allow him to skip all over the BC3 campus. Thankfully, at the last minute, Captain Fabulous realizes that the boomerang that Linda Clark gave him the last time they were together is the key to stopping the device from skiing and thus saving the BC3 campus. In the end, our hero reveals his true identity as Rob Olszewski to Linda Clark, who never realized that Captain Fabulous was actually her dorky friend, despite the fact that he looked exactly like him except for his pants.
There you go.
In a post-credit twist, Twinkletoes is revealed to be alive and working for Harvard, setting up at least 758 sequels. This story may be continued.
Oh, I'll just plead the fifth.
It's always the safest thing to do.
All right, we're going to call you Captain Fabulous from now on.
Captain
So we're going to call you Captain Fabulous in your periwinkle horseshoe suit.
There you go.
All right, on with the show. We're a long show. We knew we would be, but we got to get to a couple of parts of the regular show. So how about Ida? How about kicking in with your part of the show?
Okay, the saying of the week is one that struck me as one that I wanted to share this week, and it's about friendship and looking for the best in your friends and in others. A friend is one who overlooks your broken fence and admires the flowers in your garden.
Talking about friendship.
Yep, I love talking about friendship. So important.
A friend is one who overlooks your broken fence and admires the flowers. Nice.
Yeah, thank you. I think so too.
Okay, on with the joke of the week. Our jokester is Caleb McKenzie. Caleb McKenzie knew that we were going to be having a MadLib story about Captain Fabulous and his superheroicity. And so Caleb says, what do you call a superhero who likes to cook? This is relevant because no doubt Captain Fabulous made pierogies, right?
No doubt.
At one point, yeah.
What do you call a superhero who likes to cook? Do you know?
No. Oh,
Superman.
No.
Of course. Superman.
Did you make that up?
Unhappy with that joke?
That was a really bad joke, and Caleb, I don't think Caleb really said that one. I'm sticking up for you, Caleb.
What else would you call
Now,
him?
maybe his friend Nero would say that.
Maybe.
Come on. 3-year-olds love that joke.
There you go.
All right.
I'm with
On
you.
with the show. This is it. What do you have to say?
Well, we have some birthdays that I could shout out to
You
while
jump
people
into
are
the
thinking
birthdays
about.
before. What?
Yeah, let the people,
Give people a
I'm
chance.
giving people. All right.
the audience chime in.
They're not,
That's why I jump in.
Where's the
Durr.
where's the Jeopardy
give
music?
I give them a minute. My doing that gives them a minute to think of something to say.
How come nobody's saying
That's
anything?
what.
I don't hear anything.
Be quiet. Crickets.
All right.
Crickets.
We can just sit here and look. Should we have an awkward moment? That's what. Remember, there was that talk show with. I'm not gonna be able to remember. Late night with somebody. They would always do an awkward moment. Should we do an awkward moment?
I think we have.
No, we've been talking through it. An awkward moment involves no talking.
No, I think I want to say happy birthday to people.
No awkward moment.
On the 16th, Mallory Holler Walsh, it's her birthday. Matt Blevins on the 16th. Marilyn Jackson on the 18th. Happy birthday, Marilyn. Nancy Norville on the 20th. Happy birthday, Nancy. And Mary Jingles on the 21st.
Oh.
Happy birthday,
Coolio.
Happy
Craig
birthday,
Ferguson.
guys.
He got it right. Craig Ferguson. But we're not going to steal his idea. That would be copyright infringement, even though he doesn't do the show. And he doesn't have, he doesn't own awkwardness.
That's right.
We can do our own awkwardness.
We're awkward enough without that kind of help. Yeah.
Okay. What else you got?
I don't have anything else.
We're going back out to Lancaster.
Yep.
We put the proposal in for the firehouse in Lancaster, and we're going back out tomorrow to have another board meeting.
Yep.
And talk more about it. They asked us for questions, which is, seems like a good sign. They didn't say, these people are. We're not going to consider them.
They read our proposal. They gave it serious thought, and they want us to clarify a few things.
They came back and asked for some clarification. So we're going to be able to do that, have some more interaction with the evaluators. So that's a cool thing. We should know in a couple of weeks about that property. Johnny's birthday?
Yeah, it was Johnny's birthday.
When was Johnny's birthday? Do you know? Recently.
Recently, yeah, within a week.
Kathy, if you know, happy birthday, Johnny. Thanks for bringing that up, Kathy. Appreciate the shout out. Johnny Erickson Tada we're talking about, who you can look at. Johnny, Joni. She's named after her father, but spelled Joni. A lot of people call her Joni. But her name is Johnny Erickson Tada. And also, there's a property in the north of Pittsburgh that's available that we're trying to talk to the owners about. So it's not nothing really to talk about specifically, but we're trying to see if there'd be a possibility of a property that's up in the north. But that's very early and not really a proposal or even.
It's near where I live.
So that'd be cool if we could find something there that would be that would house our office. She's 72.
Yep.
And I think Rob would be 71 if he was 45 in 1985.
Yep.
But anyway, so I don't know. Trivia.
Okay.
So what do you think of MadLibs?
I think it has potential.
I don't know. Sort of a lot of work.
It was a lot of work to get there. But we wanted to write a news story for Rob.
It was fun, though. You wanted a story with Rob featured in it.
Right. So one thing that we didn't cover that if I have permission to touch on.
Yeah.
We talked about my college mentor, but I noticed how I said when people were bullying me, the football team kind of had my back.
Right.
But that was all because of the coach. And the coach has, back in 7th grade, has invited me to be part of the team. And back in the mid-'80s, when you think about people affected by disability, you think of, they're outcasts and they're not part of any teams. But this coach brought me into a team. And actually, I would lead the football team out on the field. And before they would, in our old show, I called it pig pelling, but before they gathered at the 50-yard line, I would cut off with the coach. And we recently inducted him into the high school Hall of Fame. And of course, I was there. And other coaches that in my time was like, you were his right-hand man. So they're talking about me. They're considering me to be inducted into the High School Hall of Fame maybe next year.
Well, that's pretty exciting.
Wow.
So
that is cool. Glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
So we'll do a live show from Rob's stuff. I think that's about it.
Yeah.
For our show. Kathy says that Johnny's birthday must have been October 15th.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
thanks, Kathy.
October 15th. That's not yet.
No,
that's Friday.
Yeah. Well, happy birthday, Johnny.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. There's still time to send her the card.
That's right.
I knew it was her birthday on Friday. I'm going to send her a card.
Okay.
She'll be expecting
All right. Come back again next week. We're hoping that by next week, Kayla will be able to do her trick at the beginning.
Okay.
Nobody really cares about that.
I say no.
I promise you, she did it a couple of times this week, but not in the perfect situation with the lights on and everything.
Well,
so we're going to get that.
I'll believe it when I see it.
And Rob invented hand symbols to our uniquely the same. Do you remember that? We did a video and you guys came up with the first ones to ever do.
We did.
Like motions to the uniquely the same saying. Do you remember that? Well, you just do it naturally. You don't even
I do it naturally. So
you remember that was the first time that was ever done?
Yeah.
I don't remember it.
I don't remember it, but
remember the archery video? You can look it up. The first time the hand motions were ever done. Look at me like a crazy.
You're talking about when I interviewed.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I remember
I
now.
never did any hand motions.
I haven't
done them since.
I was thinking on this, Facebook Live show.
No, live show. Yeah, you've done it before on the Facebook Live show. But I was just giving you the origin. Go back. That's a good video. Remember the archery video?
Yeah.
You can look it up on YouTube, and it's on Facebook somewhere, probably.
Yeah.
There it is.
Somewhere.
But the easiest would go to YouTube and look up archery on the unique.
Just to give you guys a background of that archery video, since I teach hunter safety, I found somebody that not from the state, but somebody that was in the local area that had one arm, and she was able to shoot a bow and arrow, and she was a pretty good shot.
Yeah, it's cool. You can see it.
So I got to interview her how basically what they did to me tonight. I basically interviewed her on her skill of archery.
Her teeth were involved, right?
Her teeth was involved. Yes.
Smile.
Yeah. In fact, I think it's titled Archery Video. All you have to do is smile. Because this guy, I won't tell the story, but this guy made a special.
What? Don't give the video away. Go watch the video.
Go watch the video.
Kristen's going to be in Pittsburgh at the end of October. Maybe, Kristen, let's see if we can work you in on the show.
That would be awesome.
We've been wanting to do a show with Kristen. Let's do it. Mm-hmm. Even if it's not a Wednesday or a Thursday night, we could record it when you're here. So let's try to do that. It'd be fun.
I agree.
All right, let's get out of the show. We can't tell everybody everything.
Right.
You can't say everything when you want to say something, so you just say enough. And this is about enough. That's what I feel. Might have been enough before I read this story.
Could have been, but we were in too far.
Well, we'll see you next week. Okay, Rob, bring us home. Kristen will look forward to seeing you when you're here.
I'm uniquely the same. You're uniquely the same. Together, we can change the world.
Yes, we can. See you later.